Namaskaram all. Let us start today's session with three Oms. Om. 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 So right now I am having the Nifty futures chart with me. Okay. So the current sun trend started from the April, 1st of April. So you can see that from 1st of April, there is a huge volume down in the market. So since the sun was also connected with the Saturn, we were able to see the good volume of down. And also the houses are indicating also the Ubadya houses. So and after 7th or 8th, there is a small return or some kind of reversal in market. And if you can check the planets connected with the sun, the Mercury retro is completed after 7th. So from 8th onwards, there is no Mercury retro. So the market is not that much falling down since the earlier connected Mercury retro is not there. So some kind of reversal was there. And I think there will not be not much big movement, and we can mark this gap. So maximum at the maximum market may reach up to the levels of around 22,900 or 22,900. That levels only possible because not possible, not that much possible planetary supports are there. Uh, so you can see how the markets is getting reflected on this part, and we can also see that since the Saturn is connected, we can see how it impacted the crude oil. And you can see, and from the 1st April, technically there was some high. The swing high has happened on first. From that, market has fallen down like anything. So if you have some proper technical knowledge or some basic, not proper, some basic technical knowledge, you can straight away enter short crude oil below 6,100, and you can make your first target around 5,600 or somewhere around 5,700. So, but since the planets are connected, it is falling like anything. So I think till this weekend, maybe it will go down, and next week also some momentum will be there. Due to some momentum, it will go down for another 2 or 3 days. Then only it will some kind of basic bounce back is possible, I think. So more than the share capital markets or stocks, you can see some proper valid reflection of our studies, proper valid reflection of our astrological predictions more in the commodity market. So just I wanted to share it with you. Earlier also I have we have predicted, demonstrated, and have shown you how Kedu is related with the natural gas, and how the movement of Kedu reflects on natural gas. And we have given the trade, and we have given the proper entry, exit, and stop loss on steady basis. And we have earlier we discussed the same also with you. Maybe you can refer our earlier videos, and we can find that. Okay. So this is an example of how market can somewhere get close to this mm, crude oil. So nobody news may come and news may go, but because nobody knows that that news may come on April 1st, but the news has come and it has impacted the crude oil market. But our astrological factors have indicated, given us an indication for that fall of crude oil on April 1st itself. And if you know ST very well, Even in last year itself, we can say this year from April 1st onwards, there will be some negative impact on the crude oil prices. Okay, so just a glimpse of mm, how market affects our commodity prices, how uh, planetical transaction, planetical movements uh, throughout the zodiac affects the prices. You will get a clarity. Okay. So even Nifty 50, you can have shown the Nifty 50 graph. It has come down drastically after April 1st, and I don't see any kind of valid, not say super positive planetary positions in the coming week also. Actually, the sun is moving to Ketu star on April uh, 14th. So New Year onwards, sun will move to the Ketu star. Actually, that Ketu star will hold the market. It will not allow the market to fall down more. So, for on that basis, we can say that this low of 21,750 will hold. This low of 21,750 will hold. So, that kind of assurance we can take from the basic understanding of our markets. This low will hold. If this low doesn't break within before coming Friday, this low will hold. This low of what 21,750 will hold, and the market may some kind of range bound. Market may sun trend will try to pull the market up, but moon trend is not that much favor or supportive. So whenever moon trend is somewhat supportive, market will bounce back, and again it will come down. Some kind of gap ups and not able to sustain that gap ups. That is how I expect that kind of mode only I expect the market to go. I repeat again, some kind of bullishness on the sun trend part and some kind of bearishness on the moon trend part is there, because up to next Wednesday, market is not that much favorable for bullish trends, but sun trend is favorable for bullish trend. So it is a kind of push pull factors are there. So if we can see, it definitely and coming Friday also, I'm expecting market will most probably go up only. Okay, and Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, mostly down houses are there. Uh, only on Saturday, second half, I expect some reasonable uptrend houses. And also on the next 3 days, I mean next week, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, mostly multiple houses are mixed, like Jupiter, Saturn, Venus, mostly Jupiter, Saturn, Venus, Rahu. These are almost connected on all the days. So these are these multiple entries, multiple factors. It is very hard to predict. Since the sun trend is supportive of bullishness, we can take the minimum assurance that Friday low will not be broken. So that is an assurance that we can take from this kind of setups. Okay. Now we can see how the oil related stocks perform, because it is related with oil. Okay. So Saturn is connected with the steel also, and Mercury also connected. So Mercury is mostly private banks and IT sector. You can see how the IT sector get impacted due to this movement. Okay, so from April 1st, that IT sector movement was there, and we can see that it's like a kind of a plundering of IT stocks, because Sun is connected with Mercury, and Mercury also getting retro. So what actually happens in this situation is Mercury has some kind of impact but that impact will be somewhat there whenever sun comes in transit and it connects with Mercury. So that negativeness of Mercury gets amplified and it's get directed on the related sectors. So what are the related Mercury related sectors? Mostly it is IT. Okay, IT and private banks. So we can say it is IT for, and we have to scrutinize the sectors and we have to find where the weakness is there, and based on that we can go for the sectors. I have already checked that the IT sector is weak due to that prevailing market and global scenarios. Okay, and we can see that there is a huge down in the IT stocks. You can see HCL, Coforge, and Infi, Infi, LTIM, Persistent. Both technically and now every manner it has given a good negative candle and it has gone down. No coming back. So this kind of what is it? This kind of trade setups we have to wait, because mostly mm, what to say, uh, Mercury is connected with many. I mean, Mercury is connected with the private banks. Mercury is connected with IT. Somewhere Mercury is connected with mm, what to say, uh, another sectors like mm, uh, entertainment sectors. So but we have to check which sector, we have to predict which sector will be affected more. For that, you have to get connected to the market. Otherwise, it's very hard to, because blankly you cannot say that market is banks will go down, because banks, if you see, banks are not that much affected. You see, banks has not come down that much as the IT stocks have come down. Of course, there is some downtrend due to the prevailing downtrend, but that due to that impact, only IT sector has fallen more. So even communication sector like Airtel are also connected with the Mercury, but it has not fallen down. Why? Because there is no pressure factor. You can say kind of market pressure is not on this communication sector. So okay, and again, market is what Sun is getting connected with Kedu star from April first week, and we can say we can check how it may affect the natural gas sector. These are the natural gas April futures. So I'm with the day candle now. Okay, fine. So right now this is a low. Mean we can wait up to Friday, and we can once we can see the recovery of market, surely we can enter. And this recent swing high up to 355, we can make a target, which is almost up to 10%. Okay, 354, 355, we can make a target. And the low is up to here. The recent swing low is up to here. So we can make it as a stop loss, or whatever the low it makes till the coming Friday, we can take that low as a stop loss, and we can enter the market once we can see a bullish candle on natural gas, because market has to reverse. We have to get we see at one point of time at one side we have yeah we have an astrology or Shree Dhrishti based prediction. At the other side, market is markets and market dynamics and the market impulse is also there. So certainly there will be a positive impact on natural gas, but in when it will get reflect is also a question because it's a very long day, 14 days period is there. So surely it will get reflected. But so you have to wait for the market to show some strength and then you can enter. So to find the strengths, everyone have their own kind of analysis and research. So I leave it to you. So you decide when the strength comes. But in the next 14 days, I expect a good, reasonable, and what to say, very quantifiable pullback on the natural gas sector. Okay. So, so whoever comes in touch with us or whoever comes in for trading mentoring with us, and we support them on this kind of finding it. So here it is only for discussing the mostly astrological factors. So we don't bring that factor much into the play. Okay, fine. So this is the natural gas sector that we are talking about. Good. And what else? Okay. So, so now we have basically discussed about last week movement and last week movement with respect to Sri Dhrishti, how it affected stock markets and the reason for the reversals and the reversal dates connected with the planetary movements. That also we discussed, and we discussed the last week planetary impact and its impact on the commodities, related commodities. We have discussed the coming week, expected coming week movement in the share market, and we have discussed the coming week impact on the commodity market and the probable commodities. All these topics we have covered in so far, and next we will go for day trading with what to say and what to say or deciding that trade dynamics in line with market opening and Sri Dhrishti. That part we will touch today. So here we can make some scenarios. So what happened? Market mostly opened gap up and gap down. Okay. Then market may open flat. Flat means not much difference. That means within plus or minus 0.2%, 0.2% of the 0.1% of the previous day. Because market is almost operating at 24,000 levels, 23,000 levels. So even 1% is 220 points. 1% is 220 points. So we can take 0.1% is 22 or 40 points. So within plus or minus 40 points, we can consider as a flat opening. Okay, so it's a flat opening. So now we can now we have some kind of our own market predictions, like what. So based on SD, it may be up. We can say we can consider one by one cases. Suppose that you have predicted a market is up with SD and the market is gap up. Now what you have to do? Okay, market is gap up. Now what you have to do? So basically you can do two things. You can check how much the open is there. I mean, how much the volume of gap up is there. Okay. And again, I am saying if it is very much less, like some 0.2 or 0.3%, almost even flat gap up, you can consider, say the gap up is a flat gap up, not that much is there. So what you can do? So basically, what you can do is you have to wait for first 15 minutes. You have to wait for first 15 minutes up to 9:30, because up to 9:30 that pre-open settlements and some dynamics and some big players position, some like something like it, like movement will be there on up to 9:30. So even though we can predict that, it is a very hard thing, and also that reward for that risk is somewhere limited. So we can start our play after 9:30. We can wait up to 9:30. So based on the 9:30 candle, we can say, based on the 9:30, we can see the candle, how that first in the first 15 minutes was there, where that buyers are more, where that sellers are more, or there is some kind of a war between buyers and sellers, that we can say. Okay. So if it is gap up and the first 15 minutes also good buyers are there, if it's a flat gap up and in first 15 minutes also good buyers are there, reasonable buyers are there, then you can enter, above first 15 minutes high. Enter above first 15 minutes high. Okay. Can enter above first 15 minutes high. And you can keep the stop losses 15 minutes low. 15 minutes low. And the target, you can keep the target as previous swing high. This is how you can keep the target as previous swing high. Okay. This is for gap up, flat gap up. Now your prediction for first half is up and the gap up is huge. Now what you can do? Okay. And the gap up is huge. Now what you are supposed to do? Okay. And now what you are supposed to do is, so if the gap up is huge, means it will be almost near the previous resistance or something like that. Okay. So you have to wait for the market, some reversal in market, otherwise straight away the market sometimes may go up and up, but the risk is huge in this case. Okay. So you can wait for some pullback in market, some kind of reversal in market, and you can do pullback entry. Okay. So in this case, we are doing pullback entry. So how we can do the pullback entry? So pullback, usually everyone have their own logic for pullback. The pullback must be recent swing support, and somewhere if you are in day, in between day, the swing previous day high, the market may touch previous day high and it will get reversed, or the market may touch previous swing supports and it may get reversed, or some kind of technical points are there that you can check in the markets. So these are all the possible pullback entries are there, and you can enter above 15 minutes high in this case also, but the probability is bit less and the risk is also high. So basically I avoid this kind of entries. So if the market is gap up, market is also a huge gap up, and SD is also high, I wait for the pullback. Once I got the pullback, I will enter into the pullback. So for that pullback, everyone having some logic, some is having moving averages, some is having some kind of technical things are there. I leave it to you. And but my logic is you have to wait for the pullback and we have to wait for the pullback entry. Okay, and you have to keep SL below pullback low. So that pullback low, you have to keep the stop loss. Target you can fix as a day high. Day high is a very convenient target, or somewhere 0.5% below the day high also it is fine. Okay, so you based on your risk reward, you can plan that. Okay, fine. Now another scenario. SD is as per SDR and market is gap down, kind of flat gap down. Okay, okay. What about flat gap down? Flat means flat means plus or minus 0.25%. We can take that 0.25%. Okay. So gap down and it is also flat gap down. So what we can do now? Now what we can do? We can wait for the market to, because better we can take contra entries, because we have to, if we are going by one logic, we have to make our trade plans in align with that logic, and not somewhere contra something like that. Okay, okay. If sun trend is supportive, of course, you can take contra, and see in coming week, both sun and moon trends are contra days. So in that case, it is fine. But both sun and moon are aligned, and if you are going opposite to that factor, means you can, for that you can take the technical entries itself. For that, you need not go with SD. So if you are going with SD, you have to look at what SD says, and you have to align your trades in line with that. You have to go by one logic. You should not confuse many logics. You have to layer your logics. First, my first layer is SD. Based on SD, I decide the trade direction. Then what? Based on SD and market opening, I'm planning my entry. So based on SD opening markets and do price movement, I'm taking entry. So based on that, you have to layer your logics and you have to plan your trade. If you confuse everything on one over other, uh, finally it is very hard to come out with a trade plan. So the trade plan is important. That is what I am trying to give you. So, so the gap down is flat. So what will taken is, again you have to wait for first 15 minutes high to be broken. First wait 15 minutes. Okay. So what will happen? The high will be broken. So above high. Okay. Or suppose that market is not taking high, if it is keep going low, it is not your entry. You have to wait. So up to what point? Wherever the market reverses from the reasonable support. That reasonable support might be previous day low or swing low. Okay, these are the reasonable supports. you have to wait for the market to return. Okay, then based on that, again you can take entry based on whatever the available stop loss. So where is the stop loss? Stop loss is 15 minutes low, 15 minutes low, or pullback low. What is the target? Day high or previous day close. So because it is a gap down, okay, or previous day, or you can say previous day high itself, whatever the recent swing high, recent swing high. So these are all the okay. So now this scenario, now we have taken another one scenario is there. We will check up that also. So as well as the market is up and gap down is huge. Gap down is huge. Okay. So this is like when the gap down is huge, it is like kind of good possible entry, because the market at some point of time when the gap down is huge, at some point of time the market, some buyers will be entering the market. Surely it will not, whenever, very rare cases when the gap down, there is gap down and the SG predicts up, in very rare cases only market will keep on going down. That may be due to some higher level of astrological scenarios. That is, since very rare, we need not consider that. So the gap down is huge, and market will show some kind of reversal at some point of time. Definitely, within first hours there will be a good reversal. Most of the cases. So what you have to do? What you have to do is you have to wait for reversal. So at that point of time, reversal is purely based on your logics only, whatever you consider it, because since it is gap down, it may be below previous day low also, so you cannot wait for the previous day low and something like that. So you have to wait for the reversal, and once the reversal is confirmed, you can enter. And if that reversal lies on swing support, it has very good probability. Very good probability, and the planets connected are high volume planets like Rahu. High volume planets like Rahu. The pullback also will be much stronger as like this gap down. Okay. Again, in this case also, you cannot wait for 15 minutes low or high, because already the gap down is very high. If it is going up, you can enter. Mostly we have to wait for the swing or day reversal. So for reversal, there are many logics are there. We have some logics. You might have some better logics. If you come for some kind of mentorship, something like that, we can teach you how to find the day reversal logics or something like that, both with astrology and with technical also. Okay, fine. So here what you can do as a target, in these cases you will get a good target. Sometimes market may fill that gap. So for that, market has to reverse, go up to the previous day close or previous day low. Okay. So you can keep the target up to that point. Fine. So now I have given you a map of if SD is also up, and there are 4 scenarios, and in that 4 scenarios, how you have to react, how you have to make your trade plan. I have explained in detail manner. So these are all the points that I wanted to cover this week. I think mostly we have covered the that subject, and mostly when there is up and when there is a clear cut up and clear cut down, we can enter the market. The market is flat. Mostly it is because today also market flat. You can see how it is going. Okay, there is a market flat market. You can see how it is going. See what is the today trend? Today trend is 9, Venus 7. Retro Venus 7 is there. You can see the market is flat. It is like market has given some kind of promise to somebody else that I will not go above this point, I will not go below this point. So it is very hard to trade in these ranges. Mostly your stop loss will hit. So whenever SD says market flat, better you avoid because you have on your decision what to say hierarchy on your decision hierarchy have put you have put we have put SDS first. So our decision first level of decision hierarchy says it is a flat market. So better say thanks, I'm not entering. So that is a better option, and this market also reflecting that. So sometimes the market will go some big candle, and even that also mostly in my experience with the flat SD houses, mostly I will get most stop losses hit. So better you do not enter on that markets. Okay, fine. So I think this session will be useful. Those who are even though watching not now, feel mm, those who are on the path of learning SD, maybe someday they will watch this video and I'm sure that they will find it very much useful. So, so I think if there is any doubts, we can wait. Otherwise, we can wind up. Okay, fine. Not much doubts are there. So I think we can wind up. So again, I thank the Guru Krupa and Almighty for giving me this opportunity to share this knowledge with you all. With the three ohms, we can wind up this session. Om